Hello guys, we're about one here, coming at you with a 20th place regional deck profile of my from my team captain slash good friend Priyan. Say hi.
G'day.
Um,
G'day, mates.
Now the week before this he came ninth at the Cataclysm Games region or Firestorm Games.
Firestorm, that's right.
Firestorm Game regional. And then he came 20th at the Brotherhood, so slightly lower but more people. Um,
Yeah.
so we're just gonna go through his deck profile. He's gonna explain his stuff and his tournament report, and yeah, we're gonna see what he did. So you want to start off, seeing as it's your profile, mate?
Yeah. So I played one graph, one seer as usual. These are the guys you
Standard,
want to
the standard.
you want to mill, etc.
He
Uh,
mills them every
two
time.
Farfa, two Farfa, which is pretty standard.
Yeah.
One Alec. Uh, uh,
Question. Seeing as
yeah.
Stowe's banned now, would you consider putting Farfa to free?
Not gonna lie, that's what I did for Cardiff. But my logic for this list is you don't want to see as many BA names because they kind of suck after like turn two when you've made a link board and you're like, oh, these BAs, and if you open like multiple BAs, they're not going to do anything because you've got other monsters on board that will just make the BAs blow up. Uh, so honestly, you only want to see the only ones that really matter are like obviously Graph going into Seer,
Yeah.
which is also why I've cut Scum from the deck because
Yeah, that's something
Scum,
interesting as well.
yeah, because this deck blinds second, like BA have to blind second now, otherwise like Underclock Beatrice just isn't enough anymore, just simply because Snow is banned. Uh,
Okay.
Farfa isn't Farfa isn't enough to stop your opponent's entire play like most of the time unless they really have a terrible hand. Uh, So like I put the ones that I thought that were necessary. So like Alec, for instance, having Alec there was a really good alternative to like negate something like Colossus or Titan
Yeah.
when pushing through a board. Uh, and Libic was there in case like you have these awkward hands where you just sort of brick one BA monster and then you mill the Libic off the Dante. You mill the Libic of Dante, and it's like, oh yeah, I can summon this level 3 Dark Fiend from hand. Yay,
All
I
right.
can play the game now. Uh, yeah, so that's the reason for my BA lab. Oh, and Barbar, like Barbar for game.
Yeah.
That's
Time on the round.
yeah, like legitimately. There are times where the Barbar. I haven't barbared someone. Didn't barbar someone for a game in when I was in Brotherhood.
Mhm.
But the damage definitely did matter when I was pushing for game quite a few situations. So I definitely didn't regret cutting Barber from this lineup.
Okay. Um, and then you played the standard three rhinos I see in the tour guide.
Yeah, three rhinos. Rhinos, you're literally your best normal summon.
Yeah.
He does everything. Best card to mill. Uh, and tour guide also like power card.
Without
Also
the
like
scums, did you find needing the tour guide less, or did you feel like you needed it more without the scums?
um, there are times where I sort of wish, oh yes, I could have had this, but I mean that's obviously what you say about a one-off card,
Yeah.
but it's obviously like the times that I resolved it, uh, I won the game obviously,
Yeah.
or I often used it as ash bait, which is really
Okay.
weird because like you usually do things to bait out the ash and then go for tour guide. But
Okay.
in this case, I would use it as ash bait, so I would just summon Destrudo, and then, oh look, they have nothing to stop Yazi. Oh, I win the game.
All right. And then you're playing the danger package next, aren't you?
Yeah, danger package. Like three snake, three jackalope is pretty standard, seeing as like Hydralander is not in this list for obvious reasons.
All right.
And one Nessie, I would would probably put it to two if I had another one,
Mhm.
but honestly, I didn't really miss the second one. Uh, just simply because like there are times where like Nessie isn't the best danger to have unless you're discarding it off nightmares.
All right.
Uh, the One of the reasons why is you can't target it with Destrudo, for instance, because it's level 7, so
Okay.
it doesn't help you make Yazi. unless you discard Nessie and search like Jackalope or Snake. But like, I mean, Nessie was good when I saw it. The other thing is also going second versus Thunder Dragon. Kind of opening Nessie kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Then Kaiju lineup. The Kaiju lineup would have been very different had my Thunder Kings arrived on time. So I had to make do with one Thunder King, one Godala, one Gameciel, one Radiant, one Cubungus, just simply because those are the Kaijus I had at that point. But if this was like ideal, I would for sure like play more Thunder King. Because it's the best Kaiju to have versus Thunder Dragon if they side rivalry for whatever reason.
Wouldn't it hurt you to have the Thunder King at times as well, or is it just because of the rivalry play?
Also, it helped more to have it in case of the rivalry. I mean, no one ever flicked rivalry against me, so it didn't really come up. But it definitely was relevant. In the case of giving me game. In the sense that I gave them big kaiju, so I summoned Borosaur Dragon and I just killed them that turn.
Oh yeah, okay, fair enough.
Because like I think I killed them just using a Borosaur Dragon and like a Black Dragon, just because I gave him big kaiju.
Okay.
So like, Godala's there, because you can crash your Beatrice into it and make Pilgrim, which I still play. For some reason, I just have a thing where I just can't get Pilgrim out of my extra deck. I refuse to cut that card.
You cut it once and then you dueled me.
I did, and that was a mistake. But when I took this list to Cardiff, I took pretty much the same extra deck to Cardiff, and lots of times people just destroyed Beatrice. So I was like, okay, fair enough. I just win the game now. Then like the other Kaijus is basically there because that's what I had. But I would have played more Radiant because Radiant is a Eradicator target for my side deck. So
alright.
It was but the Kaijus were pretty good when I saw them. There were times where I wish I saw them a bit more. But yeah, they were good.
Okay.
Didn't really disagree with them at all.
So did you feel that this lineup was Kaijus was okay? Did you prefer the Thunder Kaiju more? Like, what if you had to choose between this or the Thunder Kings or just these ones in general? Which would you prefer from this event?
I would probably prefer like say playing like something similar to Thomas Rose's lineup, so like three Thunder King, 3 Radiant.
Okay.
Because like I felt that was just more optimal in the sense that you could play around rivalry and also like Borosaur bait. Great.
So next we have the 2 Pankratops. Now explain this. Explain why there are dinosaurs in a BA deck.
So Pankratops, well, you're blinding seconds with this deck. So my logic was, well, I hate Altergeist, and Pankratops is pretty good versus that deck. Against like most back row decks, or if it's not good versus a deck, it's a free summon and like a free 2/6 beta, which comes up especially if you're like linking everything else into Borosaur Dragon. So like, yeah, that came up, and it was good in that sense, but and especially against like rogue decks. But in the event that was filled with in Brotherhood, which was filled with like Thunder Dragon, I played a BA matchup, which this was like fairly useless against. I probably should have cut this.
All right.
And just had this at like 42 cards because like
well, it is
there was
44,
a lot of times
which is a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, there's a good reason for that, which I'll get onto later. But like it was good all day, but it wasn't like as amazing as say seeing a kaiju.
Okay.
Or like just like seeing like an extender that did something.
So would you cut these 2 to boost it to 7 kaijus, or?
Very possibly. I'll have to do some more testing, but it's they were okay. I wouldn't if you if anyone chooses to run them, I wouldn't blame them. They're good cards.
Yeah.
I just have the best experience with them, I suppose.
Okay. So next you got the Mare. I'm assuming that's because of standard Yazzie combo.
Yeah, Mare Destrudo are just like the 90% of games were just ended with this combo because I bait out Ash or whatever interruption they have, and then I summon Destrudo and just like they see the Mare and they just scoop immediately.
Did that happen at the Brotherhood?
Um, it did a couple of times. There was one time where I tribute summoned Mare.
Really?
It was a really awkward hand, and like it was just a bunch of dangers. And then I think I drew into Mare off one of them, and I was like, you know what? I'll just go for it. And then I ended up winning me the game anyway.
All right.
Yeah. So probably wasn't the most optimal play, but you know,
it won you a game, so no complaints.
Yeah, no complaints there.
And then you're on the Chaos Dragons, yeah?
Chaos Dragon's probably one of the best extenders in the deck, aside from the dangers, because like 3-in-1 best ratio, because you never want to see like the Black Dragon really, unless you're like your Dante mills are lucky enough to hit like a white dragon or a white kaiju or something like that.
Yeah.
But it just you almost never want to see Black Dragon. There were times though, because I used to play 2 in this list, where I did mill the Black Dragon off Dante, and I felt like really bad because I was like, oh, I have a white dragon in hand. It's just I summon it and it does nothing.
All right.
But I feel like I'd still go with the 3-to-1 ratio because like it's high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
You're less likely to see it's not really high risk, but you're less likely to see the Black Dragon. But when you're more likely to see White Dragon, the White Dragon's the card you want to see. So if you see this, if you see like a way to make Dante, this card, a danger, and maybe like a Destrudo or a Gallus or something, you have the game.
Okay.
Like legitimately.
Right. So next is the Sabers.
Sabers is something I put in like a lot of people were playing it anyway.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's another target to send off Rhino when you don't have anything else like good to mill.
Okay.
And it's also quite handy because you can, if you draw Mare or Black Dragon, or anything like other Garnet you have in this deck, you could just stack it on top and summon it. So like say if you got this card and Destrudo, you can like stack Mare on top and then summon Destrudo.
Okay.
And then just carry on with your Mare combo. So like, and it's also just like an extended that doesn't cost too much, and it's a level 3. So like, yeah, I also didn't agree with playing Mathematician in this list because I felt the deck. I wanted to minimize as many normal summons in this list as possible.
So that your main normal summons would only be Rhino and Torguard, right?
Yes, it would be Rhino, Tourguide, or a card that will come onto later.
Okay. So then we're on the 3 Gallus that's just standard in B at this point, I'm assuming?
3 Gallus, like, it's standard, it's absolutely busted when you mill, like, a lot of times I just milled Destruder of this, and I was like, oh yeah, this game's mine. Like,
also, how many times did you mill Light of Sekka with this card today? On the Brotherhood? How many times?
How many times did I mill Light of Sekka? I think twice.
Oh no.
It wasn't. I think there was a time where I milled both 2 Light of Sekkas, and then I milled the third one with Gallus, and I was like, "Are you serious? What are the chances?" Like my opponent was just laughing. I was just like, "Oh goodness me!"
All right. Okay, now we're on to the interesting spicy tech that you were playing.
Okay, so 3 Goki Pole. Now this card. Okay, first of all, not my. Yeah, 3 Goku Pole and the 1 Moth. This is first of all, I want to say disclaimer, not my idea. It's shout out to I think it's Johannes Franz who came up with this idea, and we were sort of theory crafting about it. So basically, this card is like super broken. If this card is sent from anywhere, you basically search Mothman. So like it's a level 3. It's a level 3 monster, which helps make your Dante. If you detach it or discard it off a nightmare, or you mill it, you get a free +1.
That's fair
It's a
enough.
hard once per turn. It's a hard once per turn, which I was kind of sketchy on playing 3,
Mm.
but uh, I had the sort of logic because I played like 3 Wyver Burster. Like, why would I not play 3 of this? Because this is a card I also want to see.
Yeah.
I also want to mill.
Yeah.
Uh, and like playing the one off Mothman. Mothman it's okay, but it doesn't like playing multiples probably isn't worth it because like the discard effect isn't amazing. It more often makes your opponent go like +1 more than anything.
All
But
right.
having if you don't hit it, then you get a free summon, you draw a card. That's great. It's amazing.
Okay. And then we got the free Light of Sekka, which is just standard as well.
Yeah,
I actually have a
pot
question
agreed. Why
about
not play it?
this. Would you prefer to go to more of a trap slash spell oriented deck version, or would you stick with Light of Sekka? Because we've got cards that do draw two now a lot, and as you can see, there are a lot of free ofs in your deck anyway. So would you consider maybe changing the build?
Honestly, like I wouldn't change the fact that it would be a Sekka build just simply because Light of Sekka just does so much for the deck.
All
And
right.
like there's still not enough like powerful spell or traps that are worth maining to circumvent the fact that you've got like free Light of Sekka and you could play like all these broken monsters as well. Like maining kaijus is one of like the biggest advantages of this
Mm.
deck. And with a deck that's playing stuff like playing like all these other like good spell cards like Card Destruction or Foolish Burial, and then you like main 3 Twin Twister, but they don't add to your engine. Like the kaijus technically do add to your engine because you can kaiju them, and then I've got kaiju in hand. It's basically a free extender.
All right.
Um, so honestly, I wouldn't change it from being a Light of Sekka for Light of Sekka
Okay.
build.
Okay.
And the other thing I wanted to say was the reason why I played this at like over 40 cards was just simply because I have a less chance of drawing Meme or less chance of drawing Collapse Serpent.
That's fair.
Uh, that's probably like it's one of the things I could afford to do because the deck was like quite consistent,
Yeah.
especially consistent in like OTK my opponent. So that's all that really matters.
All right. And then we go on to the extra deck. I'm assuming it's fairly standard as well from the looks of it.
Yeah, it's pretty standard.
So
Like, I mean, I still play Pilgrim
yeah,
because
like you got
Pilgrim's great.
the one Link Karibo. Wait, why do you play the Link Karibo actually? Because of I don't see any level ones in your deck.
It's the standard Meme combo. So, you summon you summon Meme, you summon 3 tokens.
Ah,
So
yeah. So they're
you
all level
part the
one
combos.
tokens. Okay.
Yeah, because you part the combos. You link one is Link Karibo, link Karibo token into insert Nightmare here. Then tribute the Link Karibo to summon the token. Sorry, to tribute the token to summon the Link Karibo, and then link Mare, Link 2, and Link Karibo for Borosword.
All right.
So it's basically like low effort Borosword.
Yeah.
That's Link Karibo for you.
And then you just got the Underclock, like you got the Cerberus, the Phoenix, the Unicorn, the Trisbane, Borosword, Borload. Like, is there anything in here that you would like to discuss of the extra deck in general? Because like maybe the two Dante or the Pilgrim in length.
Like Pilgrim never got summoned in Brotherhood.
Mm.
So like, but I just wanted to have it there in case like I played Striker and for some reason they used Afterburners on my Beatrice for whatever reason.
Alright.
The decode is in there. I think again, like for instance, like Tom was saying, it's a good card to go first. A good card to go first with because like if you're forced to go first and you open like underclock Beatrice and like a danger, you just make this and you give your Beatrice like really good protection from stuff like Widow Anchor.
Okay.
It's also relevant because of my side deck, because it's a good eradicator target. because while it's pointing to a monster, it gains 500 attack.
All right.
Then Trisbane is like absolutely necessary. It's like
It
one of the
says
cards.
screw
Like,
Sky Striker, screw Altergeist. Just get out of here. Am I right?
yeah, and then a lot of people didn't like Borreload Dragon. I know a lot of people. Some people didn't play Borreload Dragon in their BA list, and I definitely rate Borreload Dragon personally because of the Altergeist matchup. If you manage to summon it versus Altergeist, they have a really hard time dealing with it.
Agreed.
Uh, like especially if they sort of mess up and you go into the battle phase and then you can attack and you can call your fast effect priority.
Yeah.
And like just destroy the Silkishus because a lot of Altergeist players I find they use their Silkishus on attack declaration, but they can't when you activate your Borreload.
Yeah.
So that's a fun fact. Bomber Dragon I never summoned all day, but it was. I felt like if I played Striker, it was quite necessary to OTK them.
Okay.
Because usually what you do is you kaiju them, you make Trisbana, wipe their board, and then you can easily link to Bomber Dragon. And this is also while you've like used Underclock Taker to reduce their kaiju to zero or like reduce them a certain amount. So Bomber Dragon can just run over them and deal like 5,000, 6,000 damage.
Okay.
And
then the rest is just the common Dante. Would you play a third?
Nah.
No.
On the most of the time, I never summoned the second Dante, to be honest. But the second Dante is literally there if your first Dante gets like striked or something, or if you're forced to banish it with Collapse Weapon.
Okay. Beatrice, I'm assuming, is standard. Yazi because of the Mare, and then the Pilgrim is there because of your own personal interest, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Right.
You honestly don't have to play it if you don't want to.
Is there anything you would change it to if you was to take it out?
If I was to take it out, I'd probably add something like maybe a second Phoenix or like a Mermaid. So Mermaid's quite good because it's good to open versus Altergeist. Like you can just link away your Cerberus, and then they can't out your Beatrice with Meluseek.
Yeah.
And Trickstar as well. They can't like cheese you out with Lilybell.
Okay. And then we go on to your side deck, which I see is missing Droll and Lockbird, but it's your build.
Yeah. Well, that's part. Well, a minor reason is that I didn't have Drolls, but that honestly didn't really matter all event.
So you got I'd say Lancia.
The Lancias were absolutely brilliant. I wouldn't change them at all. Lancias absolutely detrimental versus a lot of Chaos Dragon. A lot of Thunder Dragon builds.
Okay.
While like yes, it doesn't entirely stop the actual Thunder Dragon stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It stops the other extenders, such as the Chaos Dragons. Because there was one time where I was up against a Thunder Dragon player, and he summoned a Danger, and he summoned special summoned a Wyverbuster, and I was like, okay. So he linked them away into Reproducus, and then on the Wyverbuster search, I chained Lancia, and his response was to tribute the Reproducus to set a Thunder Dragon and pass. It's Lancia is just like super good at like especially if you activate it at the right point. So like for instance versus like Danger FTK, you want to activate that in the standby phase, so they can't use Allure or beginning of the end, and they're less likely to get to their FTK in that sense.
Okay.
And like in other matchups, like I faced like I guess like Block Dragon BA, it's probably quite good. It's that was like my round 3, and that was quite unexpected, honestly.
All right.
But yeah, it's probably one of the better side cards of the format.
Did you play against any Orcus that you might have used this against?
I didn't, and I'm sad that I didn't get to use this against them. But I knew there were a lot of Orcus in Top Cut, so that would have been good to resolve.
All right, so now I see a card destruction. Why is there a card destruction in your side deck?
This is pretty much in like every BA side deck in the sense that it's when you're siding in like spells and traps, which you are like a fair few, especially if you're going first. You're siding out your Light of Seekers,
Mm-hmm.
so you don't really have you don't have as much of a starter card to like do stuff. So Card Destructor is one of the better cards to do that because it's going to trigger your dangers, it's going to trigger your Goki Paw, it's going to get your Destruder Engrave, um, as well as potentially baiting out any hand traps or like getting rid of maybe public knowledge cards in your opponent's hand, like a multi faker,
Okay.
something like that. So
All right. Fair.
yeah, that's pretty standard.
And then you got the triple twister. I'm assuming this is for like same Sky
Yeah,
Striker, same as the Eradicators and the reboots.
yeah. So Twin Twisters and reboots were basically all for going second against like any sort of back row deck.
All right.
And the Eradicators and Trap Trick and Order were all for going first for like such decks. I mean, obviously Order not for Altergeist, but
Yeah.
and every time I would also side Card Destruction with that. Like this side deck is literally like it's pretty much just Thomas Rose's side deck, but I felt that he made the most optimal choices, and I didn't disagree with any of them. So I thought, why not just use it?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Um, if you were to
Uh,
change it though, would you maybe play evenly matched because you're going second deck? Would you like maybe add in some other cards? Like, what would you personally do if you were to change anything in the side?
uh, I wouldn't play evenly matched personally because this deck is very much like battle phase based. And like I felt it was kind of overkill to play like Twisters, reboots, and evenlies. Is
Okay.
that in that way? When I did used to play that actually in my like a long time ago, and like there were just times where just evenly just like kind of clogged with like Twisters and reboots. I wasn't seeing any sort of combo pieces.
Okay.
Uh, uh, if there was anything I would change about this side deck, I probably would try and fit in Droll somehow. Um,
All
if
right.
say like uh I would probably cut something like maybe the trap trick or something like that. But honestly, like the rest of the cards are way too important. I saw order way too much when I sided it in. Like for a limited card,
Yeah.
I kept opening it versus the Prankins player. It wasn't it was interesting, but
Fair enough.
uh yeah, it was uh
Just one more question. Would you
yeah.
maybe consider playing a Curious and a Griffin, just so you can like maybe send the order, send the epidemic, just to be able to search these trap cards that maybe could come up really good in your side deck? Would you play
See,
them?
that's funny because it reminds me of something that Joshua Roosters did a while ago because he cited the same he cited the same thing, but essentially Griffin needs to be linked to activate his effect,
Yeah.
and it's quite hard to get him linked at all to activate his effect. I think it's in testing it's possible to do it if you played like Summon Sorceress, but in that case, you're making a board that if it's like altered any way, you're using your entire hand to make it. So
Okay.
it's probably not the best idea, and it's also quite hard to make Eradicate alive, in particular when you
Doesn't
have a
it get
Griffin,
live
because
by Griffin, or does is Griffin a light?
Griffin is a light monster.
Oh, okay then.
Uh, so like in that case, you like it'll be cool to search like order or something. But it's not really optimal to search Eradicator. And
Okay then.
I didn't think playing like Summon Sork in this list was uh, a great idea. Uh, at least from my part, just simply because I wasn't comfortable doing Summon Sork combos at that point.
All right.
So I feel like if someone like a little more experienced with Summon Sork combos in particular, then yes, totally play Summon Sork if you can find the room.
All right. So what were your matchups for the day then?
Ah, yes, my matchups were indeed. My first matchup was Lunar Lights because someone was clearly piggybacking off. I'm kidding. But yeah, Lunar Lights was cool. Lunar Lights was an interesting match. But I that was a 2-0. Went up against Danger Thunder, and that was 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
Mirror match with the Block Dragon variant, which was interesting. Won against that. I did lose the Prank Kids matchup simply because I honestly didn't prepare for it very well. Like I was kind
Okay.
of just taken aback by the fact that he was playing Prank Kids, and I was like, oh, what? I can't remember what they do. I don't like. I hadn't played them much at all.
Another piggyback from the YCS, I guess.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but I mean, he knew what he's doing, and like he had like a very difficult field that even when I opened a Kaiju and a Pankratops, I couldn't out that field.
All right.
It was that good. Lost to my mate Massey with him playing Altergeist.
Mass.
Uh, yeah. I mean, it was going to be a hard game. Kind of
That's
saw
all,
my hand
guys.
game
So it's
three.
understandable against BA.
Yeah, I saw my hand game three, and I was like, well, I'm not winning this game, am I? The one against Trickstar Striker. I also won against Lost World Dino, which I fully didn't expect would be doing this well. But you know, kudos to him.
All right.
And my final game was against Danger Thunder, which I also won.
All right. So in the end, you were X2.
I was X2 and I placed 20th.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with, but I missed out on Top Cut again.
Yeah. Like a load of draws were there.
Yeah.
We all bubble, sadly, but yeah. So sounds like you did really well. Obviously, this deck does show promise, and it will do very. And I'm sure you'll do better with it at the next regionals we go to and everything. Um, but yeah. Any final words of this deck profile? To faults of the deck, maybe anything?
Uh, in terms of the deck, not too much. I'm just thinking like cut the Pankratops. Maybe not too much else. Like I still think maybe cut that was it. Maybe cutting Gokupol to 2, but I probably don't agree with that. I'll just sort of do more testing in the lab and such. But honestly, I'm quite happy with how well this deck performed on the day, and like I feel like my extra deck was also like completely fine.
Yeah.
I was just I was comfortable playing the deck. By the matches that I lost weren't due to misplays. They were just more to my opponent just opening better. Which is probably why like maybe the build needs a bit of work, but I'm happy with it. It's a good. It was fun playing the deck as well.
Yeah.
And it was fun with my first move of the day just being normal summon Gokupol, and then my opponent reading it for about 10 minutes. So
Well, all right
yeah.
But yeah, thanks for the deck profile. We'll definitely do more with BA. Definitely.
Yeah.
See, we'll be going to more events. Everybody watching this, big thank you to my friend. He does really well at regionals. We're planning on going Euros, so we'll be doing
Yep.
deck profiles. He's probably going to be playing BA with Cherubini by then. You lucky git.
Yeah, that would be. Germany would definitely be interesting.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, that's the video. Any final words at all?
I mean, just a few shout outs.
All right, go
Shout
ahead.
outs to shout outs to Challenge Gaming.
Our team.
Because team stuff. Shout outs to Johanna's friends again for the Gokupol idea. It was so fun. Just watching those people, watching everyone just read Gokupol. Shout outs to Thomas Rose for the side deck, I guess. It's a
Thomas,
it's
if
a
you
good
watch
side
it,
deck.
you got a fanboy.
And shout outs to my team in general. Like Thanks, Rob, for lending me the trap trick, I guess.
You're welcome, and the Tsuchinoko, mate. Don't forget that.
And the Tsuchinoko, yes. And like shouts to like everyone that I played. Honestly, all the games that I had were like really sort of exciting and nice in their own sort of way, and I had fun even in the games that I lost. So that was really exciting. So and yeah, that's it.
Cool. Well, this was a long deck profile. Thank you everyone for watching to this point. He is a very in-depth player, everyone, so you understand why it's long. But yeah, thanks, Brian.
Yeah, thank you for
everybody.
having me.
Hopefully we'll do amazing at Euros. Hopefully we'll have more deck profiles of this, and I'll see you guys next time. Robot1 and my mate Priyan.
All right, cheers.
Signing out. Later.